The first time I remodeled a kitchen, the sink decision nearly broke me. I stood in the showroom staring at two almost identical stainless boxes, listening to three completely different experts tell three completely different stories. One warned me I'd regret a drop-in because of grime around the rim. Another swore undermounts always fall off if you're unlucky. I left more confused than when I walked in. If that sounds familiar, stay with me. We're going to cut through the noise, compare drop-in versus undermount clearly, and by the end, you'll know exactly which one fits your kitchen and your life. What drop-in and undermount actually mean? Let's start simple because a lot of the frustration comes from vague labels. A drop-in sink, also called top mount or self-rimming, sits in a cutout from above. The rim rests on top of your countertop, like a lid on a box, and a bead of caulk or sealant keeps water from sneaking underneath. The sink's weight is supported mostly by that rim and the counter surface. An undermount attaches from below. Instead of seeing a metal or ceramic lip on the counter, you see only countertop, with a clean cutout and the sink fixed underneath it. Brackets, clips, and adhesive hold the sink to the underside of the countertop, and a thin line of caulk seals the joint. In daily use, it looks like the counter just falls away into the bowl. Once you see that distinction clearly, almost every other difference between them starts to make sense. Installation and what can go wrong. Drop-in sinks are straightforward. You cut a hole or reuse the old one, lower the sink in, center it, then seal around the rim. If the cut is a tiny bit rough, the rim hides the sins. This is why they're popular for DIY projects and quick swaps. It's hard to ruin a countertop with a drop-in sink unless you completely miscut the opening or ignore sealing altogether. Undermounts are less forgiving. They need a precise cutout and a countertop strong enough to support a sink hanging from below. That usually means stone, quartz, solid surface, or epoxy. The sink must be clamped and supported while the adhesive cures. The reveal, how much of the sink edge you see from above, or if the countertop overlaps it, has to be set accurately. Otherwise, you'll be staring at a crooked line for years. If someone rushes this step, you can get sagging, leaks at the caulk line, or in the worst case, a sink that slowly pulls away. If you want the lowest risk, lowest stress install, drop-in wins. If you're prepared to pay for careful, skilled work, undermount is on the table. Countertop compatibility? This is non-negotiable. Drop-in sinks work with almost everything. Laminate? Yes. Wood? Yes. Older or slightly damaged counters? Still usually fine. Because the rim spreads the load and blocks water from the cut edge of the countertop, you don't need the material itself to be incredibly strong or perfectly finished. That makes top mounts the default choice for budget renovations, rentals, and older homes, where you don't want to rip out counters yet. Undermount sinks need a solid, water-resistant, structurally sound material. Granite, quartz, marble, solid surface, and epoxy are all good candidates. The edge of the cutout is exposed to water and cleaning, so the material itself must handle that long-term. Laminate and softwood tops don't like this at all without special reinforcement and careful waterproofing, which often costs more than it's worth. If your countertop is laminate and you don't plan to change it, the decision is basically made for you. Go drop in. If you're investing in stone or quartz, undermount becomes a real option, and often the better visual match. Cleaning and everyday use. With a drop-in, the rim is both friend and enemy. On the positive side, it defines the sink edge clearly, catches splashes, and gives you a sturdy outline to work against. On the negative side, that same rim loves to hold crumbs, soap scum, lime scale, and coffee stains. When you wipe the counter, you hit that slight step, and to get everything into the bowl, you have to lift the sponge over the lip. It's not dramatic, but you repeat that motion hundreds of times a year. With an undermount, the counter runs straight to the opening. You wipe crumbs, spills, and chopped bits in a single motion right into the basin. There's no edge interrupting your cloth. The only place grime can collect is at the narrow caulk line under the counter, which you don't normally see. As long as the caulk is in good shape, cleaning feels easier and more natural. So the trade, drop-in sinks give you a visible edge you can clean and re-caulk easily, but they put that edge right where your sponge travels every day. Undermounts keep your wipe path clean and direct, but hide the critical seal where you have to trust that caulk and installation are holding up. For most people who cook a lot, that one smooth swipe into an undermount is a real quality of life upgrade. Style and how the kitchen feels. Even if you don't care much about design, your brain notices whether a kitchen feels tidy or busy. Drop-in sinks advertise their outline. The rim breaks the visual line of the countertop and frames the bowl. In some kitchens, especially more traditional or rustic spaces, that's perfectly fine. It can look honest and workmanlike. In utility rooms, laundry, or rental apartments, this slightly appliance-like look doesn't bother anyone. Undermounts aim for a cleaner, more continuous look. Because you see only the counter around the cutout, the bowl seems integrated into the surface instead of sitting on top of it. Paired with stone or quartz, that reads as more modern and more refined. Real estate listings love to mention undermounts for a reason. They signal that someone thought about details, not just the cheapest option. This doesn't mean drop-in is ugly or undermount is automatically beautiful. It means undermounts tend to disappear visually, which lets your countertop material and faucet take center stage. If you enjoy that calm, uninterrupted counterline, undermount will probably feel right to you. Cost now and cost later. Drop-in sinks tend to be cheaper overall. The sinks themselves are often a bit less expensive, and the installation is simple and quick. You can replace one without special tools, and many reasonably handy people install them on their own. That makes them attractive for tight budgets, short-term living situations, or secondary spaces like a prep or laundry sink. Undermount sinks may cost a bit more for the unit, but where the real difference lies is labor. You'll probably pay a professional to mount it correctly, coordinate it with the countertop installer, and set the reveal. If you ever replace the sink later, you may pay again for careful removal and reinstallation. Over decade plus, that extra work might feel like nothing if you love using the sink, but you should walk into the decision clear-eyed that this isn't the cheapest path. Durability and long-term maintenance. With a drop-in sink, the most common maintenance issue is the seal around the rim. Over time, caulk can discolor, crack, or peel. The fix is usually simple. Remove the old bead, clean thoroughly, and re-caulk. Because the rim is exposed, you can see problems early and deal with them directly. No acrobatics required. With an undermount, you're depending on the bond between the sink and the underside of your countertop and the health of the caulk line hidden under that edge. If the installer used the right adhesive, enough clips, and allowed curing time, the structure should last for many years. Still, you'll want to check periodically for tiny gaps, staining, or moisture around that joint. Fixing a failed undermount is more involved. In serious cases, the sink may need to be resupported or remounted. So which one should you choose? Let's pull it together. Choose a drop-in sink if you need compatibility with laminate or wood counters, want a simpler, cheaper installation, or expect to swap sinks without touching the countertops. Choose an undermount sink if you're already investing in stone or quartz, care about a clean, modern look, and love the idea of wiping everything straight into the bowl in one motion. The question to ask yourself isn't which is better in general, but which fits my countertop, my budget, and how I actually live. Once you answer that honestly, the right sink type pretty much picks itself.